Despite his efforts, Peter can't seem to shake his reputation for mischief among the other rabbits. Once he adventures out of the garden, Peter finds himself in a world where mischief is appreciated, but soon his family come to bring him home. Welcome to my channel. My name is Justin. Here we talk about their favorite content on streaming services and in theaters. If you guys love to watch movies and shows like I do, you guys are in the right spot. Question of the video: what is your favorite film surrounding animals? Let me know in the comment section down below, and there you can find mine. Peter Rabbit to The Runaway has seen probably one of the most amount of date changes during the pandemic. Some I'm not even sure why it was moved around so much. I enjoyed the first Peter Rabbit movie for what it is. Is it the best film ever made? No, but I did find it to be quite enjoyable. What works mostly for the second film is the continuation of the mischief for Peter Rabbit. I enjoy movies where one character is a certain way. Then we kind of see a change in them kind of towards the film, but it never really forgets the initial setup for that character. And yes, there is some change within Peter, and he is becoming more of a family man. In the beginning of the film, Domhnall Gleeson and Rose Byrne's character, they get married, and he's totally on board with it. But it seems like the character is transitioning to being, I guess, more respectful. But they never forget that mischief. And I did appreciate the fact that they didn't change the character completely just for the sake of changing him. Now, I have not read any of the Peter Rabbit stories. I will admit that I never read any of them. But I did like the fact that they continued the character and what the initial setup was, while also trying to bring some new personality to Peter Rabbit as well. It's kind of got that same structure as the first film, where he gets in trouble quite often and realizes that he's gone too far and then needs people's help to kind of bring him back in. That's essentially what this film is, and I think it does work a second time around. We have a little less of Rose Byrne and Domhnall Gleeson as the human characters. The book that Bea wrote is becoming quite popular, and David Oyelowo's character wants to sign her on, and her husband now, played by Domhnall Gleeson, realizes that she's been taken advantage of. We really see Domhnall Gleeson's character come out as a good husband, and he's trying his hardest to connect with Peter if Peter just leaves the tomatoes alone. So despite the less human interaction, I do think that the story between pretty much the three main human characters did work. Now, we do have some more mischief in here. We have a character named Barnabas who wants to rob the up-and-coming farmers market, and he enlists Peter Rabbit and Peter's family to help out too. We have that mischief that comes once again, and it's all pretty fun. What I don't like about some of the mischief, and it's a thing that the first Peter Rabbit did, and plenty of other movies do it too, is that they exchange the mischief for it being like a dream sequence. In the beginning of the film, when there's the wedding and they say that this guy is going to be the father to Peter, he got really upset and started attacking him. And then it was like all was in his mind. I think that films do that, and I think it's a cop-out, honestly. Just don't show it. Just show the emotion in the face rather than showing us a scene that's not real. And Peter Rabbit's done that a few times, and it does it in the second film. I just get really, I guess, frustrated. I know it's a kid's movie, but just movies just do that. Just not one of my favorite styles of filmmaking or a technique or a way to kind of present the story. It just does not work for me, and it really started off that way. And also at times the film feels a bit used and borrowed compared to the first film. It's borrowing a lot of the relationship struggles between Domhnall Gleeson and Peter Rabbit. And the film is very predictable. You know where it's going to go once we learn things about the farmers market and I guess the central plan to steal all the food. It becomes very predictable and you know where it's going to go. Some of the humor too is pretty dry. I mean, it's a kids movie. Kids will enjoy it, I guess. My daughter and I enjoyed watching it. She likes animals, and so animals talking to her is just pretty funny. Some of the humor surrounding the rabbits just wasn't funny to me, and even my daughter just kind of looked at it and just didn't laugh. You know, she did laugh quite often, and I did too. There's a pretty funny sequence involving a squirrel that always just randomly appears and sings the song that is playing. He sang a Green Day song, and I thought it was probably the highlight of the movie for me. But there is some jokes in here that really do not land. So before I give my final thoughts and score for Peter Rabbit 2: The Runaway, make sure to check out other 2021 movie reviews right up here. You can find the playlist up here. So overall, this film, I love the continuation of the character of Peter and that there is still this mischief within him, while also trying to move the character forward just a little bit. It seems to be a little bit kind of by the numbers and very predictable and a little bit dry at times. But overall, it's an enjoyable film. If you enjoyed the first film for what it is, it's not a perfect film by any means, but it's enjoyable for what it is. I'm going to go ahead and give Peter Rabbit 2: The Runaway a C+. Thank you guys for checking my review for Peter Rabbit 2: The Runaway. Have you guys seen it? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.